Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folare. Well, the cheering news that the 6 people kidnapped, 4 school children and the principal and his vice that were kidnapped earlier in the week on Thursday, we are hearing that they have been freed. Of course, joyous news in the first instance, but there are questions. The legislator, from Lagos State, the assemblyman from Lagos State, whose constituency it is the school is in, where the event happened, Honorable Segun Olulade, would have been with us this morning, but then he had arrangements to, receive the children, in short, the freed individuals. But as it is all turning out, it might well be that they need special care, counseling, trauma, post-trauma counseling and all of that. So that indeed might not be happening. But we will speak with Honorable Olulade as soon as we can pick him up on the phone. And but we don't have that much of a problem because we also have with us Colonel Hassan Stan Labo, retired, a security consultant and indeed friend of the House. Thank you as always for coming on with these security matters.
Thank you, Ari.
It always is heart-wrenching when this kind of a thing happens. Gunmen, as we were told the story, stormed the school on Thursday in broad daylight. In fact, the school was at its morning assembly, and abducted the principal, his vice, and 4 school children. One of them needing special health management. In fact, that was even a bit more heart-wrenching because there were reports that the parents of this ailing child actually offered a swap, simply because you couldn't take care. It's not possible for you to be able to take care of the person the way that person needs to be taken care of. But happily, they're all now free. This whole matter of ransom and all of that, we don't really know too much about that. News reports say that they did pay some, after the initial 30 million naira demand, that they did pay something, but that has not been confirmed by anybody. The police, neither the school, have been able to confirm that. But Colonel, these things happen. They go on happening. Look, is it a bit like the border scenario where they say you can't patrol every mile of our border, and so there's no how we try. This is something that will happen from time to time unless certain other conditions are met.
You're quite right, Yuri. The fact is that, frankly, for us to frontally face this challenge, there must be a high level of citizen participation. Citizens have really got to take entire possession of protecting themselves. And that is why you would notice whenever I come on programs here, I keep emphasizing the need for the PTIs to be addressed. If we go to that school now, I'm very sure probably they have no fence, or if they have a fence, it is very low, or the school is situated right in the heart of a bushy area, and they've not taken the pain to clear away a huge portion of the bush, so that anybody walking around, from the bush approaching the school would be seen, and so on. If this preventive terrorism initiative is put in place, it will reduce to a reasonable size some of these kidnapping situations, coming on board. All right? Secondly, do we have our CLOs from the various DPO office or divisional police departments, liaising with all soft targets within their areas of jurisdiction? And what is the purpose for liaising? Inspecting to see whether these things we are talking about are there, and if not, you impress on the authorities to please put them there. We just can't keep coming and talking and talking and talking, and no action has been taken in the field.
It's so frustrating. And this, by the way, we're talking about Lagos State Model College. Okay. Lagos State Model College, Igbonla.
Which should be a model for others.
In Ekpe, exactly. Okay. That's why I brought it up. Lagos State Model College in Ekpe. We had this traumatic experience, similarly, if you remember, when the incident happened in Ikorodu. some time back. And here we are. As you rightly said, soft targets. Yes. People, these persons are targeting soft targets, and that really there is the frustration. If what you've just said, walls have to be raised to an appreciable height, yes. Additional security measures have to be put in place, yes. Especially when we come to realize that it is a clear and present danger. Yeah. Would it be overreacting to begin to look at it like that? Okay, I'm getting a signal now that indeed Honorable Segun Olulade, member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Ekpe constituency, okay. We have him on the line now. And good morning, Honorable Olulade. Good morning, Honorable Olulade.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much for taking our call. This incident happened in your constituency, if I remember correctly.
Yes, sir.
Ekpe constituency.
Ekpe constituency 2, yeah.
Constituency 2. Well, according to newspaper reports, the release was they were freed somewhere. Well, tell us about that. Were they freed or were they released?
Yeah. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the security agencies in Nigeria and their role that they played, most especially the Commissioner of Police and starting with His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State and the entire government of Lagos. I would say that they were well condoned of, and that is why I think it is out of fear that they have to release them, because they could not move.
Within Ekpe town?
Yeah, they couldn't move out of that area.
That Igbonla?
That Igbonla vicinity and all around Ekpe. And that make it very, very impossible for them to move further. And that make it easier for us to, we were able to conduct, because of the prompt response of all our security agents, the police, you can see the helicopter, you can see RRS men, everybody, Navy, everybody was on ground on that day. Immediately the incident was reported. And I thank them for that prompt response. And I would say that really make it very, very impossible for the kidnapper to have their way. And I think because the place was already being cordoned off, there was no way for them to move further, and that is why, out of fear that they have to release the abducted principal, the teacher, and the 4 students.
Indeed. Are the news reports correct that this incident involved the principal, the principal's vice, and 4 children?
No, it's the principal of the school. You know, we have the junior principal, we have the senior principal.
Okay.
The principal of the junior school and a housemaster, who is the teacher in the school,
okay,
with 4 students were kidnapped.
Were the 4 students junior or senior secondary school?
They are all DSS 1 students.
All of them, DSS 1?
All of them, the 4 of them.
Okay. And we hear, Honorable Olulade, that one of them was quite sickly and needed specialist care, so much so that the parents had offered to swap if necessary.
That report was not correct. And I must say that they are doing well, they are okay. They are now with their family. So that report was not correct.
Okay.
I think there is a lot of false reports going on social media that people should not just take.
Sure.
But all in all, we thank everybody that is involved in the prayers and in supporting and providing information to the security operatives.
Indeed. Honorable Olulade, what details do you have about the manner of release of the school people?
I can tell you authoritatively that there was no ransom that was paid. But like I said earlier, it was out of fear that these people have to release those who are involved. And I can also tell you that the security operatives are on the kidnappers now. So they are trailing them, and we believe within a very short period we will have the good news of them being arrested.
Okay, it's good to know no ransom was paid, but do you have any details about how they were released? Were they dropped at a certain location, or what happened? How did we get the children back?
Yeah, they were dropped, and it was those victims that eventually called their house, their family to come and pick them where they were dropped. But it's still within that vicinity.
Okay, within that vicinity,
yes.
Their relatives got an anonymous phone call to go to a certain place where their children would be.
Yes, that was what happened.
Okay, well, thank you very much for filling us in on this. We're happy to have the children back. I imagine, as I was hearing before coming on air, that the victims who have now been freed will need to go for, some counseling, some post-traumatic stress.
Definitely, that is essential. We must do that. They must be medically checked. They must go for counseling, and we need to have them in good state and in sound mind, and which is very, very important.
Thank you very much, Honorable Segun Olulade, the Lagos State House of Assembly member representing Epe Constituency 2. That is the host to Igbonla and the Lagos State Model School at Igbonla. Okay, so there we hear it, Colonel. Well, very good that a number of all these stories, have been sort of corrected.
Yes.
Look at the incidents, the emotional story about one of them being quite sickly. That has just been debunked.
Yes, I was really...
that would pull at anyone's hamstrings.
Sincerely.
But social media being what it is,
yes,
it does
of course.
have...
You expect all sorts of stories.
Well, as the honorable gentleman was, saying there, the police, all the security, agencies, they moved in very, very quickly. Yeah. So there was a timely response to this. In fact, the very, very day it happened, I understand that at the National Assembly, at the House of Representatives, a certain Honorable Raji, who also, it is his constituency, had brought the matter to the entire nation and to his House members. So that sort of gave a prompt situation. Now, we were talking about the difficulty in securing without turning into fortresses these schools. And at the time when we were talking about these measures, I was going to bring up the added expense. Of course, no money is too much for safety and security and all of that. Yeah. But how practical is it, what we've just recommended, all over the place? Because all of them are vulnerable, perhaps except for maybe just schools that are right in the middle of town next to Alausa Secretariat. Nobody would dare, I imagine. But all other schools, this is the problem we have, isn't it? Mm-hmm. How can we do it? That is why I was saying that unless other things happen, unless conditions are such that this kind of a thing becomes, what is it now, an exceptional case rather than something of a routine.
Yori, I must tell you this. Security does not come cheap. And because we've always tried to move away from the fact that, look, because some aspect of implementing security routines could be cheap, could be expensive, we shy away from them. We must face it squarely. I expect government to come out with a template. If you have to establish a school, you must go through this template. We want your fence at this level, there must be a gate, it has to be manned, there must be security, this and that, and so on. First responders, whatever it is, and so on. Yes. Good.
Very much like the fire service insists on certain base minimum.
That's it.
If you have a legal building.
If we had this right from the beginning, most of the private schools and even government schools, since it is government that is releasing the template, I expect them to have implemented in their own, we wouldn't be in this situation. All the same, if you bring it out now and say within the next 2 years, we want all schools to abide by this template. We wouldn't say immediately because we know times are hard. Mm-hmm. But within the next 2 years, we shall begin to go around with our inspectors to see those who are violating this. I can assure you we shall have a more secured environment. And I'm so happy with the reaction of the security law enforcement agencies there, because I guess information must have reached them on good time, and that's why we keep saying that citizens must, participate effectively in securing themselves. Make use of all the emergency numbers available to you, 112 and the Lagos State at 7. Make use of them. Immediately it takes place, somebody should immediately be dialing.
Yeah.
And not just wait and be wailing, dial immediately, so that the requisite agency that should have this information would have it and react immediately. I guess that is what has helped the situation in Lagos, especially this incident. I'm really impressed.
Okay, with the immediacy with which the authorities are able to react is crucial.
Yes. Right.
So thank God everybody seemed to be on the ball in this particular case. You've said it. All these things need to be in place maybe within 2 years, but also right next to that is the fact that schools, I don't know, we need schools, right? We need schools. Might this not constrict the number of schools that we have? And so we have this dilemma of one of the reasons why this whole thing has gone to the dogs is that people are, quote unquote, managing to set up schools. The list that you just said might be part of the template that school owners need to have if they want to become school owners. I don't think anybody's paying attention to that, and it's because of the pressure of there aren't enough schools already, and people want more. So you can see there's a pull in two directions. If we were to do it right, perhaps only a fraction of the schools that are existing would be able to comply.
I agree with you, Yoribet. There are certain fundamentals we cannot compromise. It's like authorizing the establishment of a clinic, and you are telling the fellow that, well, if you cannot get a doctor, it's all right.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
Yes.
There are certain things we can't compromise.
But it's speaking to a larger problem, a larger society, isn't it? I understand there's a caller on the line. Okay. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, I just want to put my little quota and little experience to the kidnapped Ekpe Model School kids saga. What I noticed, just as Colonel Hassan has said about schools, of course, all of us know that there should be a template. There should be a template about. There should be a template about. There should be a template about school security and the way schools go about the security. I noticed in South Africa, when I was in South Africa briefly, I noticed that all the schools, all these primary and secondary schools in South Africa, they use the wire gauze kind of school fencing. They don't use the block and the brick walls we use here to fence schools. When I asked the reason why the schools use wire gauze, that's the fence kind, the wire gauze, the transparent that you can see in the school, and they said that this was the best way to maintain security in the compound and the outside perimeters. And then within the fence of the school, there's a distance between the bush part and the fence. Mm-hmm. So it's a transparent fence. Whoever wants to invade the school from the four corners direction of the school will be seen. It's a kind of school a kind of a see-through kind of fence. So how we want to put children in primary school, in secondary school, and universities? We build brick walls around them. Normally, the brick wall will hinder security. It hinders a see-through kind of situation between the school and the outside. Even Indeed. For passerbys driving their vehicles, they should be able to see children playing football and running freely in primary schools. This was how it was 20 years, 30 years, and 40 years ago. Everybody could see anybody in a school field playing football. So how come now we change the whole fencing of primary, secondary school, and universities into like prison yards that you cannot see people in in the system. So I just want to agree with Colonel Hassan that there should be a template for reversing the security outlook of schools. We should change it from...
Thank you very much, John. Appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Interesting contribution there,
sure.
Colonel.
Sure.
Again, this is no doubt something that the authorities will have considered in the past, but are going to have to look at a bit more now.
Yeah.
The ease with which these people are able to, because this was a broad daylight thing.
Yeah.
So that, first of all, shows you that we are being watched.
Mm-hmm.
And so all our lapses are being observed by those who don't mean us well, or those who intend to take undue advantage. And this sort of puts pressure on government. This is not the kind of thing Lagos State government wants to hear. It has massively invested in security. Governor Ambody's whole premise is all about security, investment, and one other that I forget right now. But security is at the center of it. So he's going to have to really look at this. And interesting, this is something of an infra dig coming from Ekpe, the governor's own area. Although he's a governor of the entire Lagos, this is like, infra dig.
More so, I expect the Lagos State government to take this serious because without being told, I think we are all realizing that Lagos is becoming a model for nearly every state in this country.
Exactly.
A lot of governors are peeping into what Lagos is doing.
And how Lagos is solving problems.
And how Lagos is solving problems. In fact, even at the federal level, in those, I remember the last dispensation, a lot of people were asking the federal government then to look at what Lagos is doing and implement at the federal level.
Exactly. Another caller is on the line. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead, Faith.
In the issue of kidnapping, my children, I have children in Model College in Ikorodu, Lagos State Model College in Ikorodu. And their fence has been broken since, I think, around July, August. Up till now, nothing has been done. And I feel the security there is not even enough. We parents, we are panicking over it. I don't know what the government can do concerning that.
Thank you very much for calling in, Faith. Faith has kids.
Yeah, sure.
Many parents have kids because there are quite a number of those model colleges.
That's why she feels very concerned.
And she's reporting that, look, in my kids' school, the fence is broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not a recent event. So really this does put government on the spot because government does have to send out an inspection team so that we can assess. In fact, I think that what I probably said might even be out of order because since this thing happened in Ikorodu the first time around, government would have gotten on top of it and should really have some sort of a roadmap, a list of schools that do need attention. But
go audit the security situation in all your schools. An audit report should come out.
Exactly, and it does seem a bit too easy now. The ease with which these buggers walked in and while they had the assembly, we just. It's a problem.
It's disturbing.
It is disturbing.
Truly.
It is disturbing. Now,
the school is an assembly. I expect that any adult moving in, the security should be able to know the school teachers as they walk in. When you see any other strange face, then you immediately accost such an individual.
Okay, sorry about that. We're sorting something out here. Mr. Hassan is calling in from Lekki. Good morning, Mr. Hassan.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Colonel Hassan Stalabu.
Thank you, please.
You see, this issue of security is a business of everybody. And we should be very, very conscious of it. Let me take you back memory lane. When this kidnapping started from the south of Port Harcourt, we all look at it as a problem of south, and we all fold our hands. And in a particular forum, I made a contribution. I said, look, we should continue, we should begin to be conscious of what happened in one part of the country. Because if you allow it, without nipping it in the bud, you will end up having the same thing with you. We all folded our hands. We say, look, this is an Igbo problem. This is Southern problem. It will never come to us. And now we are having the same thing before us. In the north, let me tell you one thing, Mr. Yori. Do you know that in the north now, if you go to the market and sell maybe 50, 100 bags of maize, they will come and kidnap you. If you have a very big farm, you understand, you have people that came on this shifting cultivation, and you need money to pay them. It's not an issue of ATM. You can be easily kidnapped. In the north, it's very, very rampant. In the south, it's very, very rampant. In the Yoruba-speaking areas, where it's much more secure than anywhere, we are seeing what is happening now. This thing is what should put all our hands should be on deck. The intelligence should be something. The most important thing, what I'm seeing now is that, I'm very sorry to say this, what I'm seeing this is a backlash of this militancy in the South-South. Because all fingers are pointed at the side of this militant, coming from the grid of South-South to come and wreak havoc in Lagos. We should be up and doing. We should be our brother's keeper. Whatsoever we do, whatsoever is happening somewhere, let us have that conscience that is happening to us because it's part of Nigeria.
All right, then.
Take it away from Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Hassan, for calling in. We'll take a quick break now, and then when we come back, we'll go over some of the points that he made. Stay with us, please. Welcome back, and we're looking at the issue of the freed school from the Lagos State model, the freed kids, and not just kids, also some of the teachers that were abducted on Thursday in Igbonla in Epe of Lagos State. We got the kids back, according to reports, and we're happy about that. But we're still taking your calls. In fact, hopefully we'll hear very, very shortly from the police. We've heard from the in fact, we do have Lagos State Police Commander PPRO Dolapo Badmus on the line. Hello, good morning, Madam Badmus.
Good morning.
Okay. Can you, first of all, would you like to make a statement about the freed people?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My name is Bashenian, not Badmus.
Oh, it's not Badmus. I beg your pardon. What is the correct name?
To your RIS program.
Okay, please go ahead now with your. Do you have a statement?
Yes, I want to say something.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, the kidnapped Epe Model School girls and similar experiences like that of the Chibok girls, etc., etc. One of the person that spoke talked that security is an expensive issue.
Okay, sorry, excuse me, please. I beg your pardon for interrupting you. Could you give me your name, please?
My name is Basi Enyang.
Basi Enyang, you are a caller. You are not Dolapo Badmus that we were hoping to get. We're still working on that. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you very much for calling in. Please go ahead now.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did I throw you off a bit? Please continue. We just wanted to establish that you are not the Lagos State PPRO. That's all. Please continue. Oh dear. Our lines were mixed up then because we were getting the Lagos State PPRO, Dolapo Badmus, and then this Madam Enyang, it appears, somehow got on the line, and we had to clear. So we're still working on getting the Lagos State Police Commander PPRO, and as soon as that happens, she'll come on here. No wonder that Madam Enyang must have been surprised when I said, "Do you have a statement?" Anyway, the good news that we have the captives have been freed, that were abducted. Now, When Mr. Hassan, calling in from Lekki, when he spoke, he said he was even going to stretch it a bit and said that this could conceivably be something of a spillover from South-South kidnappings and that kind of a thing. Was that stretching it a bit?
No, but that may not be ruled out. I guess we are now beginning to look at the causal factors and so on, and we cannot rule that out completely.
Okay, excuse me, please.
Okay.
We now indeed do have the Lagos State Police Command, PPRO, Dolapo Badmus, on the line. Hello, Madam PPRO.
Good morning, Mr. Yori Folari.
Thank you very much for calling. Do you have a statement on the released, the freed captives?
Oh, thank you so very much, TVC, for connecting with me. Those children, like you all know, they've been reunited with the family, and the teachers are also back to school by the effort of the security agencies and by the grace of Almighty God.
Can you give us some details as to the manner of their release?
The children were released by the effort of the security agent. And like you rightly know, when the incident happened, the information was given to us promptly. And this was what made the command to activate the response team and search team. And in doing this, the abductors were holed up in a corner. They can't move freely. And we couldn't launch an attack on them because of the safety of the children. All along, we were monitoring them at their base, and then we were all on ground, of course, in conjunction with the Navy, the Air Force, and our operatives, even the RRA. And this made it impossible for them to move freely. And because they know they are closing up on them, they were seriously afraid, and then they had to let the children go because the pressure was too much on them.
Indeed. When precisely were they freed, or did you get notification that they had been freed?
That they had been paid?
The time. They were freed overnight.
They've been freed. Yes, they went and dropped them at a point, and then the police got the information, and then we moved in, and with the school authority and also the parents, and then they were recovered.
Do you have any information about whether or not ransom was paid?
Well, we've always said that we will not discuss the issue of ransom because one, it's not. We are not concerned about ransom. We are concerned about securing the release of the abductees. I mean, but we've done that. However, we want to say that talking about the issue of ransom might actually give it a good meaning to the criminals because they will have felt, well, if you want to be rich quickly, you take into criminality. And you will agree with me, Mr. Yori, that for everyone that has done kidnapping in Lagos, they've always been arrested. That you will agree with me. And this is not going to be different.
Okay.
We are going to get them arrested. And if perhaps they said they have taken anything ransom, that will make even their charges more. Because I understand that kidnapping is a bailable offense, but when you kidnap with gun and you have money, you take money in turn for that. That has become armed robbery. And then, armed robbery is not bailable. And then it will amount to serious charge, and they may not come out of it.
Yes. Madam PPRO, because of the emotive nature of a dastardly crime like this, our children in school, I wonder, has the police, has your command been looking at something of a special unit, considering the number of schools that are in Lagos, some of them in far-flung locations? Does the police command think it is urgent enough to set up a specialist squad for incidents like this?
Well, since the incident of the first school that we had that incident this year, that Babington, we've been able to activate what we call response team for school. You will agree with me that if we are to post policemen in all the schools in Lagos,
We might not even have any policeman to do the duty on the road. But what we have done is that we have activated what we call patrol team. And then we have had corporations with schools. You know, they need to activate their internal security mechanism. And then we will back it up for them. This is what we've been doing. And we've been doing to this school also. But I think these kidnappers used the opportunity of just returning to school. You know, they were just coming back to school. And then they just capitalized on the opportunity of settling down. And then they struck. But we've had, in conjunction with the Lagos State government, we've activated response team, and then we've activated patrol teams. But what we need is for the school also to get serious about their own internal security mechanism, and then we will partner to ensure adequate security.
Does intelligence gathering form a part of this challenge, this task you're talking about?
Of course, intelligence gathering is part of what we're dealing with. And that is why we say security is everyone's business. And then, you know, informations. The police officers, the security agents are not, you know, spirit beings. We also need information. And then you see that in most situations that these kidnappings occur, you see people tell you, oh, and we saw them, we saw 3 people moving, we saw them in a manner that we think, oh, what are they up to? But nobody will call in police. They will just say, we see, we think, we thought, and then at the end of the day, this thing will happen. So we need the partnership of the members of the public to actually gather intelligence. We are doing it at our own, but information is vital at this particular point in time. So that's why we are saying, if you see something, you must say something. We propagate the phone numbers of Lagos, the emergency numbers, the 767, the 112. If you see anything, please call in the police immediately. Don't even assume or don't think, oh, I'm not concerned. Or don't think, some people will and be thinking, what are they up to? And then pronto they will strike, and then it will be regret upon regret. So in gathering our intelligence, we also seek the cooperation of the members of the public for vital information to be provided.
Thank you very much, PPRO of Lagos State Police Command, Dolapo Badmust, for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Okay, then they cut her off. She was going to say thank you, but
yeah,
you know, well, this is she said a whole whole basket full,
in line with most of the things we were just discussing.
Exactly. Well, it goes back to what a point you also made about the responsibility of a school owner, a prospective school owner. It's just gone up.
Yeah.
You know, it's just gone up. You can't just. It's not child's play. Apparently, that's. Knowing Lagos State government for what it is, it's probably going to get a lot sterner on this whole matter. But as the lady said, we are faced with a set of impossibilities here. You can't police every school in Lagos State.
That's definitely.
You know? So, well, I guess they'll have to do the best they can. It's just like customs officers at the airport.
Yeah.
You can't search every single person coming in. So they know what they do, how they take a sample, do a profiling. I imagine they're going to have to be a lot more, you know, well, they're already very, very serious with it, but they're still going to have to do more. Such is the onerous nature of their job. Look at Faith, who called in. She's concerned about her children in a different school.
Yeah. A model school too.
A model school too. And she had said that the school fence was broken.
Yep.
She'd noticed this for some time. It hasn't been fixed.
And with this incident now.
And now this incident happened. So I imagine all the schools need to be, they need to be under, if there's any such thing as positive pressure.
Yep.
To be up and do the needful. But we're happy that the kids are back. The only problem is that when is the next one going to happen? We hope it not soon, and that it's a lot more difficult.
We have to immediately be proactive.
Yes.
As much as we can. As much as we can, we have to immediately be proactive.
Okay. Someone is calling in from Ojo, and there's another Lagos State Model College in Ojo, but let me see what he wants to talk about. Good morning, sir. Hello? The caller from Ojo? Mr. Adeshina. There's a satellite problem, I think.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Okay, please go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Yori. Good morning, Mr. Yori. Good morning, Mr. Yori. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Please go ahead. I don't want to say anything because I can see there's a satellite delay. Thank you for calling.
Actually, it is what is happening about the issue of kidnapping in this country is becoming is alarming. And we need to speed up our game with the security issues, how to counter these issues about the kidnappers. Now, if you look at it, the way the event has been happening, in the past decade, we don't hear anything like this. I'll be 20 years down the line. And now it's becoming, that means it's a very lucrative business, and the people we can see the effect on the victims. So when we need to do something about preventive measures on the part of the security, it's possible for we to get these people arrested before the crime is committed. And also that is possible because these people carrying out this crime, these kidnappers, they are not spirits. They are human beings like me and you.
Yeah, but Mr. Additional, did you hear the Lagos State Police Command PPRO speak just now?
And get them tried, convicted. On the other hand, until we do something, yes, I had that. And the issue is that the response was proactive. It was very swift response, so that we can get. That was why it's very good. That's why we give them kudos for that. But also we need to speed up the game so that we don't continue to have the occurrence of too many kidnapping in the country. You heard it in the north, you heard it in the south, you heard it in the west, and so we need to go above this level of hearing kidnappers all the time in the news.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Adesina. Really appreciate your call, and that is the nature of our challenge.
Yep.
We're tired of hearing this, and quite frankly, we're in trepidation of when is the next one going to happen, given the statistics on ground. Given you can't, I mean, schools are schools. As the lady said, Dolakwa Badmus, you can't police every other school. Even if you get, I don't know what to do, quite frankly. Well, thank God it's the job of some people to come up with a solution. Maybe there are civil defense people that need to get a bit more active in the matter, intelligence gathering, and all of that.
All stakeholders
must be there.
The schools, like we said, must do their own homework and make sure they have their own internal mechanism, towards protecting their staff and kids.
Indeed.
Okay, it's very important that they do that.
Indeed. So everybody has to, put their shoulder to the wheel.
Sure.
Dayo is calling in from Ilasa-Maja. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling.
And good morning, Colonel Azan.
Thank you so much.
We thank God that the school children are free. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
And then we thank Governor Ambode. And then we need to call our Nigeria police to do their work very well, because sometimes if you call them, they won't pick call in time.
You're talking about the police?
Yeah.
737?
About the police.
You have experienced delay. When you call them, they won't pick up in time.
Exactly.
Well, how did you reach them? Because the police is listening right now, and they need to hear this. Which number are you calling?
121.
Okay, 121. You have experienced undue delay when you call 121. But do you finally, in your experience, do you finally get a response from them?
They don't pick it. Nobody's picking it.
Okay.
Just ring.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling in. The police are listening to this. I think, as Madam Dolakwa Badmus was on the program, and I'm sure she's still watching. So she's just heard that 121, or at least one caller has said that he has experienced a difficulty calling in. So these are things that maybe the whole system just needs to be checked from time to time.
Yes, of course.
Because when you call 191 or 911 or whatever it is you have in other countries, you get an almost instantaneous response.
Yes.
So whatever is the bottleneck, we probably have to sort that out. Because Madam Badbus herself said that the immediacy of the transmission of the information, that they got it in an instant, really helped towards resolving this issue.
I really wouldn't want to contest what he has said, because definitely it could occur. But I'm saying that I have tried to experiment these things, and instantly I got a response. And I was so shocked and, happy with the whole development. But I would have loved to see us maybe look at some other related causal, what do I call it now? Related, cause actions that might lead to all this. For instance,
okay, going back to
poverty,
okay,
the widespread poverty we have right now in the land, emanating maybe from the economic situation, the unemployment situation on ground, and so on. All this could,
this is what I
contribute.
meant when I said at the very top about unless all other matters can be, sort of become equal,
Yes.
which is not.
Hello?
I think somebody. Oh, okay, actually, following that call, what we did was we tried to call 121 to find out, verify what the caller just said, and right now we have 767. Good morning. Is that the police?
Good morning, sir.
The police.
Yeah, that's,
767. Is that 767?
good morning, I guess.
Good morning. Who have I reached?
This, you see, the way I look at this issue of kidnapping, they have discovered those boys. They have discovered that they make a hell of money. I think we have to go to the causes of it. One.
Is this 767?
It's not 767.
No, this is not 767. This is not 767. I'm sorry. That's the second time it has happened. There's a mix-up. There's a mix-up. We were trying to, because we wanted to verify that gentleman, Mr. Adesanya, has called that. Look, he called 121. He said we're not too sure if 121 is the correct number, because I think there's 112.
112. And then 737.
And then I think 737.
Yes.
112 and 737.
Yes.
So what the producers did, well, I'm being corrected by the producers. They say it is 767.
767.
767.
Yes, correct.
The producers say the numbers are 112 and 767. Those are numbers to call in an emergency.
Yes.
But Mr. Adesina had called in and said, I said, what number do you call? He said 121.
Yeah.
We're not too sure that's an active number. So if Mr. Adesina
so.
was calling 121, I'm not too sure. But 112, our producers are still trying that to see their experience when they try 112 and 767. We'll let you know how it goes with them. But
yes, I did talk about the issue of widespread poverty that has become quite prevalent, unemployment situation, and the fact that our youths have been misused by the politicians who after that didn't engage them. I'm trying to see why we have so much free hands that can be engaged in things like this, we should also look at the faulty or the poorly structured educational curriculum which we operate. For instance, if a child is done with his secondary education now and he cannot make his 5 credits, he has no other options in life. If that child had been exposed to some form of vocational training while undergoing his secondary education, like we have in some of these countries surrounding us, when you are coming out, it's not just your academics alone. If you cannot succeed there, you continue with your carpentry or painting or bricklaying and so on. But as here, once you don't make 5 credits, you are done for. You are done for completely.
I hear you, Colonel, but going back to the actual incident of kidnapping these kids this latest time, I wonder, now that everything is technology assisted, is there a way in which IT can be? I'm sure the police and the Lagos State government are exploring all these options. Sure. Okay, this is 767. I beg your pardon. We just got 767. Good morning, 767.
Good morning, sir.
Who have I reached?
This is Adenike Gbadebo.
I'm talking about your formation. Is that what police force is that?
This is the Lagos 112 emergency helpline.
Okay, 112. Thank you.
Please.
What we're doing is that
rescue.
What do you do at 112? What can I talk to you about? You're on a television program now.
On 112, we provide rescue from life-threatening emergencies, such as fire outbreak, accidents, robbery, collapsed building, fights, riots, and any other emergency-related cases. This service runs for 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. It's a toll-free line, and it operates for emergencies within Lagos State Metropolis, You can reach us from all networks.
Okay.
Please. Would that be all for now?
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So that was. I couldn't hold that line up because it's an emergency line.
Yes.
So I just wanted to let go of it as soon as I could.
But
at least we've confirmed that that is 112.
Yes.
And I think 767 is also another line. So, Mr. Additional, I just want to make a note that we were able to easily reach 112. And so everybody in Lagos State, and indeed beyond Lagos State, that has anything to report in an emergency situation, they now know that that line is up and working as well as it should.
Yes. So if I may continue along my line of thought, we've talked about the poorly structured school curriculum, which does not avail any students.
I'm sorry, we have to go now. We've completely run out of time, and I went and asked a big question, the IT question, whether IT could be of any use or any assistance.
In tracing, IT could be of assistance. Once you can get the number of the phone number that was used, I expect that IT can then go to work.
Okay, we'll have to explore that some other time.
It's important, but can I just make one more point for rounding up?
Maybe 10 seconds.
Yes, please. Our poor criminal justice system in this country too could also help kidnapping. When you are sure you cannot get justice.
Okay.
When you resort to the corrupt system we have now in the judiciary, you want to take the laws into your hands.
That's also
it's important to put that in perspective.
Thank you very much, Colonel Hassan Stan Labo, our security expert, for talking to us. And we also thank the Lagos State Police Command, PPRO, Dolapo Badmus, who came on the line to, help us with this program, as well as the lady that we spoke to, and indeed the whole formation behind 112. In fact, they're telling me her name. That was, you heard the voice of, No, sorry. And also we wanted to, I thought they were helping with something else, but also we have to remember to thank Honorable Olulade, who started off the program with us. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing, with a fresh edition of the program. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.